Hey, welcome. So, when you hear the word cyberpsychology, what's the first thing that pops into your head? Social media? Online gaming? Maybe virtual reality? Well, you're not wrong, but that's really only half the picture. The truth is, the original cyberpsychology is way, way older and a lot more personal than the internet itself. To really get it, we've got to go back to the source. So, what is this field actually all about? Well, it turns out there are two completely different ways to look at it, and they're both existing at the same time. Understanding the difference between them is, well, it's everything. On one side, you've got the definition we all know, the psychology of the internet. But on the other, there's this much deeper, older meaning that's all about the idea of control and steering yourself. And here's the kicker. Understanding that side is the secret to mastering the first. Okay, let's start with the one we're all familiar with. Let's call it the front end of cyberpsychology. This is the study of our lives as they play out in the digital world. A really great model for this actually breaks our entire online experience down into 8 different dimensions. And it covers the whole shebang, right? Everything from our digital identities and how we relate to people to how being online literally changes our sense of time and reality. It's the applied science of our digital lives. But here's where we take a sharp turn. The internet didn't invent cyberspace. Nope. Our own minds did that thousands and thousands of years ago. And to understand how, we have to go to the back end. This brings us to what cyber originally meant. And spoiler alert, it has absolutely nothing to do with computers. It has everything to do with control. You see, the word cyber comes from cybernetics, and that comes from an ancient Greek word, kybernetes, which means a steersman. You know, the person at the helm steering a ship. So cybernetics is the science of self-governing systems. It's about feedback loops and how things steer themselves. And this is the crucial point, right here. Back-end psychopsychology is the study of how our own mind acts as its own steersman. It's about the fundamental operating system that guides every thought, every feeling, and every action you take. This diagram here, this is a picture of that exact system. You can think of it as the basic control loop that's running inside your head every single moment of the day. It shows how your mind is constantly sensing, evaluating, and then acting on the world around you. Let's just break it down real quick. First, you sense the world. You take in information. Second, you evaluate that info based on what you want and what you believe. Third, you choose from all the possible things you could do. And fourth, you act. This loop just runs constantly, steering you through your life. And what's really profound is that this internal control loop is constantly creating something. It's creating your own personal cyberspace, a virtual reality that exists completely inside your mind. Okay, so what does that even mean? How can a thought be virtual? Well, it's because we never, and I mean never, actually experience the world directly. You know, it's a bit like Plato's old allegory of the cave. We don't see reality as it actually is. We only see our mind's interpretation of it. We are always interacting with these mental models, these signs, not the thing itself. And that constructed mental space is our inner cyberspace. This is especially true when it comes to memory. Your memories are not like little video files stored on a hard drive. Not at all. They are reconstructed, rebuilt from scratch every single time you access them. Your brain just grabs a bunch of individual details and weaves them together with a script of what it thinks happened. I think this visualization of our stream of consciousness is just fascinating. It shows how our working memory is constantly piecing together these little overlapping fragments of information, moment by moment. It is actively filling in the gaps to create that smooth, seamless experience of reality that we all just take for granted. And here is the grand connection. The digital cyberspace that we all live in now, the internet, social media, VR, it is not some totally new invention. It is just a very, very powerful externalized extension of that same inner cyberspace our brains have been navigating since the beginning of time. So, why does any of this matter? Because understanding your own internal operating system is the absolute key to navigating the external one. It's about becoming a better steersman of your own mind. Look, these psychological dynamics, they're ancient. Rumors, myths, stories, they've always shaped how we see the world. The only thing that's different today is the speed and the scale. What used to be a rumor spreading through a town square is now hyperspeed narrative warfare, playing out across the entire globe in seconds. The tool that we all need in this new environment is something called cognitive control.
And that's really just a fancy way of saying it's the conscious ability to direct your own mental processes. It's about choosing your focus, managing how you interpret things, and aligning your mind with your actual goals. This slide really captures the reality of how we interact. We are all individual, self-controlled systems. You can think of us as little ships, each with our own person at the helm. And we're all communicating and influencing each other through this shared environment, both physical and digital. The better you understand your own control loop, the better you can navigate those interactions. So here is the ultimate takeaway. By understanding the back end, your mind's ancient internal operating system, you gain so much more mastery over the front end, that chaotic, information-drenched digital world. You become a conscious navigator, not just a passenger getting tossed around by the waves. Which really leaves us with one final and pretty crucial question. In a world with countless forces all competing to influence your thoughts and your actions, who or what is at the helm of your ship? Who is steering your narrative?